Alright, so the first thing I want to do now is actually I'm going to merge those layers. I'm going to scale them a little bit outside. And as you can see in some of those areas we have kind of lines and other things. So I just want the scratches. So I'm just going to go to clone stamp 2 and increase my size and start to clone and drag in different areas just to remove all those pieces. Make sure I have all those details cleaned up. It's almost cleaned up. A few more areas. I'll remove some of the highlights. So now I can go and multiply this texture and you will see how it will add a little bit more detail. So I just need to test different types of blending modes. And like a soft light, it's kind of okay. So I'm gonna still test some others. So right, so let's leave it to normal. Let's make a duplicate, hide this one, and desaturate this. So now when I multiply it, I'll get this kind of effect. So I'll increase the brightness and the contrast of this. So the more contrast I have, the more darker pieces I will have on this. I'm gonna increase this quite a lot, as well as the brightness on it. I'm just gonna quickly preview how it looks. So it added a little bit of detail. It's not that much, but you can definitely see some of the errors, for example here or some of the other parts. So now go back in my groups folder and go down where I have the light metal, and I'm gonna hide the mask. Just check this. So this is kind of a little bit too light, so I'm gonna try to blend this using the blending options. Probably gonna leave it to something like this, and because I like the effect that's showing off at the moment. Or no, actually, let's change it to lighten, but lower down the opacity of it, so it will be not that kind of light. It would still have the same effect, just a little bit less of it. So again, I'm gonna go up in my folders section and group this, and on top of all this I'm just gonna double this on and probably let's try color. Actually, this one I'm just gonna apply a color balance, and I'm just gonna play a little bit with the values of this because I want to match them much more nicely. I want a little bit more like rusty old yellow type of color, which is similar to a cartoonish game character. So I'm just still experimenting. You see me go forth and back with those things. Is not the magic button, so you have to test every time. Something like this. So I like how this is turning out, but now what I want to do is I want to copy this, and okay, we're gonna paste it in here. And actually, we're gonna change the size of this to this, and we're gonna paste it, and we're gonna work with this one with that kind of a bigger size. It will be much easier. Marmoset will handle it anyway. So alright, this looks kind of okay for the moment, and the next thing I want to do is I want to take advantage of this. So what I can do is I can go to Crazy Bump and I can paste from clipboard. Since I have it, I'm just gonna paste from clipboard, which I just copied, And this is going to take the texture that we have and we're going to play a little bit with it to make a little bit of variations and so on. So it's more like this one. So just gonna go with this version. It's kind of an outside or inside bump kind of a area. So gonna check the occlusion and specularity. So this is what I want. This is kind of a very messy piece, but I'm just gonna copy this very quickly to show you what it will help us. Still copying because it's a big file. And if I paste it now in my file on top of the chord changes and change it to multiply, for example, and invert it. Probably okay. Let's invert this back, and I'm gonna tweak the brightness and the contrast of this. So it's gonna add a little bit of highlights and some other parts. This definitely should be very slightly, not that kind of a weird piece, but to add some kind of detail to it and some life. You can even change it to soft light or experiment with the different blending modes. Probably multiply just lower values. And for the moment this looks kind of okay. So I'm gonna copy it, have a preview of it and see it, how it looks. So at the moment this looks kind of okay. It's still a little bit, it's more work, but we're getting there to the point where this is going to satisfy our needs. So I'm just taking a quick look of it. The eyes are kind of okay. Probably I want to a little bit make the jaw and the chest piece a little bit darker. So one of the ways I can do this is I'll turn on my UVs. I'm just gonna quickly make a selection around this. I'm gonna pause the video while I make the selection because again you don't need to get bored watching how I do it. Alright, so I just quickly made some mask selection in this area, so I'm gonna make a new layer. And I'm gonna fill it actually with white. It doesn't matter what color, it's just temporary. So I'm gonna make brightness and contrast and I'm gonna delete this and use this as a mask. So now when I change this and I play with the values, I can quickly make some kind of variation of it. So I'm gonna copy this quickly and give it a look. So this gets a little bit too darker, so I'm just gonna try to fix it. It's a little bit too much, just slightly maybe. And also reduce saturation of this just a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get back to my group and where I have the eye, just to find it. I want to tweak this color. It's not what I want, so I want this a little bit more like a bluish green type of color. So need to find the right color for it. Probably something like this. And since this is the white one, the white part, I can duplicate it and even make it smaller to make it more like a hotspot. I even can blur this just slightly to achieve the effect. So I'm gonna leave it like this for the moment. I'm gonna save it. Actually, I'm looking for, let's lower the darker part a little bit more as well. And let's quickly check where is this. Let's increase the size. And I want to find the white area parts I masked. It's a little bit messy because the way I've organized things, but since I worked before like this, I can quickly navigate myself. So first of all, I'm gonna change a little bit those two. I'm gonna merge them. I'm gonna play a little bit with the brightness and contrast of those. Gonna lower the brightness and lower the contrast as well to match them a little bit more with the other colors. So in our next chapter, we're gonna continue on and tweak some of the other parts that we've just painted on the robot.